This week's question to ponder is for you if you're stressed, maybe you're overthinking or you're over worrying, or you're beginning to suffer from anxiety a little more than usual, or you find yourself stuck in a problem and you can't seem to find a creative solution. So this week's question to ponder is, what did I do to relax today? This question is essential if you find yourself stuck in an endless loop of worry or you find yourself getting anxious more generally. It's also essential for you if you find yourself stuck in a problem that needs a creative or innovative solution. The question about relaxation is based on a huge amount of scientific research on stress. Stress is a phenomenon that affects us on many different levels. And because of this, we can approach stress from a number of different angles. We can go into problem solving mode and try and remove the problem or change the situation that's stressing us out. Or we can go at it psychologically by supporting ourselves emotionally or changing our thinking. Perhaps we need to accept that not everything needs to be perfect or that we can cope with problems that life throws at us. But an important angle to approach stress from, especially when we are stressed long term or chronically stressed, is from the physiological angle. This is because on a biological or physiological level, chronic stress damages us in many ways. For example, when we are stressed, our heart rate increases, so we have more energy ready to deal with the threat. Over time, this can thicken our arteries as we adapt to cope with the increased blood pressure, which in turn can lead to heart disease. Stress also turns down our immune systems in order to use bodily resources to deal with what we perceive as more immediate threats. This is why stress is linked with everything from cancer to autoimmune dysfunction. But what a lot of people don't know is the link between stress and our brains. Chronic stress is associated with mental illness, anxiety, and depression. Overproduction of the hormone cortisol during chronic stress means it builds up in our system and leads to changes in brain regions associated with anxiety and depression. This makes intuitive sense. If we perceive things as always being stressful over a long period of time, we're going to become anxious or lose hope, which is a major symptom of depression. Another way of thinking about this is that stress is cumulative. It appears that one of the best ways to reduce this damage is to spend at least 30 minutes per day in some form of deep relaxation. When we are deeply relaxed, our heart rate slows, our muscles relax, and the body releases endorphins, which help to undo the negative effect of the stress hormone cortisol. There are lots of deep relaxation techniques, so yoga, meditation, visualization, and progressive muscle relaxation are some of the scientifically validated ones. I'll link to a good book on the topic and some other resources in the description below. Relaxing can also really help our problem solving in the short term. When we're stressed, our thinking tends to narrow and we tend to focus only on the problem. So think of a time when you were really stressed about something. Maybe you couldn't think about anything else. Your mind keeps worrying and goes in loops over and over, fixating on the problem. You might be distracted to the point where you're forgetful or you're clumsy, and this is an issue because of our fixation on the problem. We often cannot see the wider picture and thus possible solutions. About 10 years ago, I was in university, and then it was during a particularly intense period leading up to Christmas, and I was behind on getting a final term paper in. And I'd spent too much time on the other papers to the point that 3 days before it was due, I still didn't know what I was going to write this final paper on. I was very stressed because if I didn't get this paper in, I would fail the year. I was so stressed that I couldn't think straight. Eventually, based on advice on one of the books in the description, I tried a relaxation technique called progressive muscle relaxation. This is where you tense and relax various muscle groups in order to go into a state of deep relaxation. After about 30 minutes, the muscles in my upper back, which had been incredibly tense, finally relaxed. About 30 minutes after that, my more relaxed mind came up with the solution that had been staring me in the face the whole time. I wrote the essay on stress. So the next time you're worrying uncontrollably, or you're feeling anxious, or you're really stressed and can't solve a problem, ask yourself, what did I do to relax today? I hope you find this useful. Thanks, and see you next week.